tough, young Sly Stallone out of Hell's Kitchen likes being other people, likes being Rambo, and likes being this guy and that guy, and likes being in prison, and the next film this. You like that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a self-imposed schizophrenia that you can visit, and it gives you a license to be outrageous, obnoxious, overbearing, comedic, and you're doing it under the guise of someone else. Oh, it's not me. I'm not really saying those things. So what it is you are perpetuating and extending your childhood fantasies. All acting is pretending.
Okay, right. But you're making it also sound like it's a little weird. I mean, it's good for weird people.
Absolutely. I would say...
Whereas if you're a little schizoid, be an actor.
Yes, exactly right. I expect any day to see this great migration to this city with signs saying, "I'm weird, going to Hollywood." Weirdo needs lift to Hollywood. It does. I mean, this is a breeding ground and a congregation that everybody who has any kind of weird idiosyncrasy and needs an outlet go to Hollywood.
And if you could live the fantasy out, which is the ultimate make-believe, right? You can be you are your own ultimate make-believe. Anything you thought of as a kid, you can play. You can be.
Yes, you try. Yes, very much. And you do. You have certain idols or ideologies or heroes as a child, and you try to, when you get into a position of power, play those. Rocky, I've always been intrigued by it's like the St. Bernard. He seems like a very docile animal, but rile him up, and he's a very, very powerful creature. And noble. Well, I've always been involved or intrigued with these kind of like broad-shouldered losers in life, supposedly, but when the whistle blows and they have to rise to an occasion like the Chuck Wepners of the world and other athletes, it happens every day. I'm intrigued by that because that to me is glorious.
Yeah, the less than the most talented, when they rise to the top. Is that the way you perceived yourself? Was most of you in Rocky?
Yeah, very much.
That was more autobiographical than anything you've done.
Well,
in the sense
philosophically, yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes. I mean, I don't go, Adrian, I go from bull. Even though everyone thinks I do that. You know, I'm shocked. I come to the room and hello, Sylvester Stallone. They go, where's Rocky? Oh, man, please.
But philosophically, that was you.
Very much.
The loser who becomes a winner.
Always. Because I think it's very, very important to lose on your terms. Now, that sounds a little odd, but if you're engaged in any kind of competitiveness with you or anything else, if you're a job, whether you're a bookkeeper or anything else, all you want is the right to fail. Get a shot, and if I blow it, I blow it. But at least give me the shot.
A lot of people don't get that shot.
No, and they don't get the shot, and that's what leads to a little bit of insanity.
Our guest is Sylvester Stallone. We'll be back with this deep psychological examination and more. He stars in Lockup. It opens Friday. Stay there.
Where the hell are we? I don't know where the hell we are. Shut up. You got the wrong man. You made a mistake.
There's no mistake. Welcome to Gateway, Leone.
It's kind of an updating of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, that kind of feel.
Two guys who
basically are on the outside. They work for the law. They're on the outside. They're kind of renegades in their own business, and they dislike each other because they both think they're the best at both fields, in their field. And they're thrown together through a series of circumstances and have to work together, but there's always that friction between the two. And then we come to like each other in the end.
Back to nutsiness a little before we talk about
Back to nutsiness?
No, I'm interested.
Don't inspire that kind of
you do in me.
Big Newton look.
Big Newton look. I love it. We were talking during the break that most successful, if not all successful people, have something a little crazy about them.
Berserk.
What is that, do you think, that drives someone slightly off kilter
to
first, make it?
They have a sensitive nature. They're very, very attuned to outside stimulus. It's a delicate balance. They are focused in or on a certain wavelength that is almost esoteric. whether it be politics or art, whatever, that's their field. And anything that bothers them, that disturbs them, that's mundane, they can't deal with phone interruptions, noise, trite conversations. I don't want to hear it. They just want to do their job. Second of all, I think that the artiste, the more talented they are, the more consumed they are to do well. And they never succeed in doing well in their minds. They can always do better. So there's that grating frustration to challenge oneself. And so you're always in a sense of unhappiness.
True, always. And why always, not always, in many cases, failure in other areas. Mm-hmm. Relationships.
Oh, miserable. Forget it. I mean, we're
why?
talking. Oh.
Help me, Sylvester.
Oh, I mean, I'm like in the, trash can city here. I mean,
no.
I am the garbage disposal of love. I am, forget it. Woo! Oh, God.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's true of a lot of people.
Because,
you can't have energy for it all.
All right, here's one of my observations. Your business or your profession sometimes becomes so consuming that it's your reality. You come onto a set, you're in control. You know these people, they're your family. It's alive. And you are in a world that you control and you love and you dominate. When you go out into the street, this is unreal. It's reality, but it's unreal. You don't have any control over it. You go home and, hi, honey, what happened today? Don't ask. You had to be there. You're letting out all this tension, and it's a coming down. So it becomes almost, at least for me, an unreal world. And I couldn't wait to get back to the set, which was real, because it was something that we developed. We created our own small little universe. And it's
can't control outside of it.
You can't control it. It's hard enough to keep your hair from frizzing up, much less control the world.
Then how do you deal with yourself as one could look back and say, boy, if we talk about childhood dreams, you made it.
Yes, I did.
Have you made it to you?
See, I don't think so. I mean, I know I've been incredibly successful, and I've also had incredible failures. So the two have balanced out one another. I still feel, believe it or not, neutral. It isn't as though I walk around and say, yeah, I peaked, I did it, there's nothing left, I did it my way, throw my coat over and my hat on and say, hey, farewell, baby.
Little Sinatra.
Yeah, check it out, Jack, I'm out of here. No, I don't think so. I just feel as though, God, I'm still spinning my wheels and I haven't achieved what I wanted to achieve. Which is to go right to the end and say, I've completely mined out whatever creativity or whatever dreams I have inside. Just throw it out to play every kind of conceivable character. And then also, now that's being a little selfish because that's the commercial side. The private side is a total mystery to me. That is a black hole. I mean, I have to go back into that because I really haven't figured out how to handle that, whether I am just a perennial seeker of some kind of truth that doesn't exist, some kind of balance.
No, you might, in that area of life, ain't going to get it.
Yeah, I just may be, the bozo of Burbank for the rest of my life,
Our guest is Sly Stallone. We're going to talk about lockup and lots of other things. He's our only guest tonight on Larry King Live. We're in Burbank, California. We'll be back after this.
Pay my debt.
To the state, not to me.
ETA.
ETA. What's that, man?
Don't trust anybody. Words to survive by.
Come on.
He won't be pushed.
Square miles were annihilated, including the Mitsubishi Steel and Arms Works and the Mitsubishi Urakami Ordnance Works. On August 14th, the Japanese government surrendered. The last bomb had been dropped.
you caught that. Yeah, it's a prison film. And it's interesting because it could be anybody in prison. It's a man who made a very, very minor mistake coming to the aid of someone else. And Donald Sutherland, who was the warden at that time, builds up this incredible resentment for me because I escaped to go to a funeral of my father figure. And then right after the funeral, I turned myself in. But he, being the warden, is punished for allowing me to escape and is sent to this hellhole. And I served 5 years in addition for going to this funeral. But I've got 6 months left to go, and he kidnaps me and brings me to his place, Gateway, which is hell on earth. And he says, I'm going to take you a tour through hell. And what he wants me to do is break down and to escape again so he can give me another 10 to 20 years. So it becomes this game of wits and battles and nerves. And that's basically the crux of the film. And all I want to do is to get out, get to my fiancée, and live a good life.
This is an original screenplay?
Yes.
Not a book?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you involved in its production, or are you a hired hand here?
No, actually, this is the first film through my company, White Eagle. So I financed this film.
Explain the name.
White Eagle. I wanted something that is very visual. I mean, if you had called it, Chocolate Rat, it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Right,
Yeah. White Eagle's better than
Big
Chocolate
bug
Rat.
production doesn't work. I thought White Eagle, something that also, if you take it in the Far East and around the world, the eagle is very synonymous with this power, and the white being aesthetic.
Okay, that means it's your company. You hire the director. You hire Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
This is your financing with whatever financial institution. This is your baby.
Blame or the shame.
All right. Does this put double pressure on Sutherland, the director, people working with you? This is your show.
I think so. Yes, because I don't want this to sound, so self-glorifying, but it's like working with the studio. The studio is standing there, drinking a Coke next to you.
Yeah, you are the studio.
Yeah, I mean, we're a small studio, and that's what it is. So it isn't like, oh, yeah, Sly's the actor. He's financing the thing. It's part of his company. So there is, I think, a lot more flare-ups of shingles and
do you try to let them down from this? Do you try to say to them, fellas, I'm just...
Skin outbreaks everywhere I look.
Do you try to say, I'm just one of the guys here, fellas?
Yeah. I go, I'm just wondering. With a whip.
Sutherland is an interesting actor.
Great.
What's he like to work with?
He's great.
Sometimes matchups don't work, right?
Yeah, I know. It is. Very often, as my 2 marriages attest to.
You keep going back to that, I know.
Why?
No.
You think I'm bitter?
No.
Nah. I love being dragged through the mud.
Sutherland.
Now, Sutherland is great. Sutherland, I've always wanted to work with Donald. I was a neophyte acting student at the University of Miami.
In Coral Gables, Florida.
Coral Gables, Florida. And he had done a film called Joanna.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a very big film, it was an art film. And he was the first actor that ever made me cry. Because he had done a soliloquy, and I don't do that very often. So I thought, my God, look how and then I was a bit actor on a film he did in MASH. And I said, and then I was an extra. And now here was a chance to finally do it with him. And I thought, here is a character that is your evil warden. I don't want a mustache twisting. I thought, here we need is someone who is intellectual, who maybe studies psychology, who has a bearing, and brings with him a history of sophisticated, understated acting. And Donald's right there, which plays off of my physical acting. So he's superb.
Wow. That's interesting that he was your first.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you mentioned being a bit player in MASH. Are there days that you're driving in, you're in the limo, you're going to do a day's work, where you might pass a billboard or drive around the corner of the street and remember you walked there, or you were an extra here, or...
All the time. The people around me, I'm constantly pointing out these little landmarks. Yeah.
Like I was at the...
I ate out of that trash can. Yeah. Yeah. I stole her purse over there.
I was a good guy.
I was a good guy.
But you always had self-belief, didn't you? I mean, you could have had a lot of money for Rocky by backing off it.
I had self-belief, but I doubted it one time.
When?
And I think it might have been a turning point in my life. I was trying for a bit part in a Woody Allen film called Bananas.
Oh, I love Bananas.
And he wanted 2 muggers. I show up, and he goes, you don't look tough enough. I go, I'm looking at Woody, I'm going, Because, Don Knotts is tough to Woody. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he wants. So I went back.
That's right.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true. You know? So I went back, and I went with this little fella. He goes, geez, I guess we lost the part. I'll see you later. Slinking away. I had my chest slumped. I went, oh man, I'm going home. He goes, no, let's go back and try it. He ran upstairs and he bought this Vaseline and junk from a pharmacy, and he took soot and rubbed it on his face and greased her hair back. He goes, come on. I said, no, well, this never happened. So he walked me. He said, get an attitude. So I walked up to Woody. I said, how about now? You think you're scared? You know you're scared? And my heart goes, ding, 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 ding. He goes, yeah. He said, yeah, you're right for the part. And I went, man. That was it. So from that point on, I never took really no for the first time. If they say no 30 times, I get the hint. But 2 or 3 times, I keep trying and trying and trying, because sometimes you catch one on a bad day. They're just not tuned into you. Because I've made so many mistakes. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to an album. I say, this is rubbish. Next day I go, this is brilliant.
Yeah. When you were at the University of Miami, they told you to get out of this business, didn't they? That's Ring Theater Drama School, a pretty good drama school. Told you you're in wrong.
Yeah, they said, why don't you make toothpaste bristles for a living or something? It was just, I wasn't what you would call A1 class material in their eyes. So I went there for acting. I ended up being a scenery maker. It's just like, I told you, I wasn't a spear carrier, I was a spear maker. And more pole, please.
But it gave you good background, though,
yeah,
right?
It sure did. It made me so bitter.
Do you still hold bitterness toward that school?
That's where the snarl came from, baby.
You still hold bitterness toward the school?
No, because I have to admit, socially it was a wonderful place to go. It really was.
By the way, this attitude thing, we got a minute up to this break, so is that a great deal of acting, an attitude, the attitude you take in the part? There's not just you, but the attitude or the persona you take.
All attitude. If that is the key, I think, to acting, is the attitude. Pretend it. You can't go back in your life and say, oh, yes, I remember when my dog Spot was run over by a freight train. That's going to make me cry. No. If you can get the right attitude, then you start to pretend it. It starts to happen. I think acting works from the outside in.
So then it's reacting.
Exactly right. It's pretending. If I'm mad at you, I'll turn it on. You're mad at me, turn it on. But I don't have to go in the corner and sit there and create, think of burn victims. It's terrible. I don't want to think, the terrible things.
You are not a method actor.
No.
In other words, if you want to be angry now, you can be angry now.
Oh.
Like right now.
Like Mount St. Helena. Like, pop my cork. Watch me. Here I go. No. Yes, you can get mad. Especially, what happens when the camera's on you and everyone is watching. There's a great deal of pressure anyway, so you better get mad.
Okay, we'll pick up on that. Sly gets mad following this. Don't go away.
Tie me down.
You better believe that you're going to be doing hard time here the rest of your life.
You won't break me.
Concentrated artillery support for men in the field. Victory would come through giving support and understanding to South Vietnam's villagers, those at the center of the fighting, the war's true victims. It was clear that to defeat the communists in Vietnam, more troops would be
originally broke into the business doing, which is ensemble, not me carrying the burden the whole time. I think it gives everybody a great deal of variety.
Good character actors.
Very good, and it's not all on my back. I think this film will do very, very well. I really do. It's an odd summer, but I'm optimistic.
An odd summer, you mean by odd?
Well, it's funny.
It's a booming summer.
Boomer, you never know what's going to hit and how big they hit, and other films that were sure things haven't been. So it's strange, very, very strange.
This industry, how much of a crapshoot is it really? In retrospect, couldn't we have said, yeah, Batman, sure?
Well, Batman was a pretty sure thing. That had its imagery again. The imagery was there. The people came in expecting this dark night. See, I think there's a side of Batman that people really haven't explored. He's heavy metal. He's heavy metal. He's sensual. He's dark. He's the kind of thing that people fantasize creeping into the window in the middle of the night, you know. It's like he's like the Dracula type figure, whereas Superman is squeaky clean. Batman is heavy trade, you know.
Would you have liked to play him?
Yeah, that would have been. I would have tried to give that a shot. I don't know if it would have been as unique as Michael Keaton.
Do actors think about that? In other words, when you watch
sure.
Batman, you say, "Here's what I would have done."
Yeah, I said I would have flapped my arms faster. You know,
No, it would have been a very interesting approach to a kind of removal from you, half hidden.
That would have been nice. I mean, that would have been nice. I see those kind of characters fascinate me because I'm into the hero syndrome. Matter of fact, I'm doing an art show of my paintings pretty soon, and the subject matter of the paintings is the techno hero of today, which has changed so much. In the old days, if something glorious was done in the act of battle, they would sing odes to you, write poems. You would be in the Iliad and the Odyssey. Today, a man can save children from a burning building. They can do something extraordinary in war, and it's a clip in the evening news, and it's over. Techno, it's disposable heroes. It's very, very hard to be a hero. Let's look at baseball heroes. Babe Ruth, there's nothing to write.
Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah, why? Because you didn't have these people at your disposal. They weren't on TV. They were a mystery. Right. So today they're eaten alive, and so we need more heroes. More. I'm hungry. More. Reaching, and that's what's happening today. So it's very, very hard to be an iconoclastic or trend-setting hero.
So a Batman represents that, as Rocky represents that, right? A kind of a figure.
Yes.
Who lasts.
Yeah, especially Batman, because Batman was developed at a time when people read more, had to rely on their imaginations more, started out on the radio, so it's bringing this tremendous history with it.
When is the drawing line? You're doing another Rocky, right?
Yes.
You're going to write another Rocky.
Yes.
Is Rocky endless?
Rocky fights rickets. Oh, my legs are going. Help me, Adrian. Yo, my knees.
Oh, yeah, this will be Rocky what?
Rocky.
Rocky.
Rocky. I'm already starting. Yeah, Rocky's punch drunk. How unique, huh? No, it'll be Rocky Sank. Rocky 5.
Rocky 5. Is that going to be it?
Yes.
Well, how do you know when it's it?
No, it is because when you evolve the subject to the beginning, what Rocky's life has basically been the male version of Cinderella, even though he would interpret it as Humpty Dumpty. It's Cinderella. So he comes back to the beginning. He'll lose all his money, as many fighters have done, and the dream is over, and he takes on the role now of like Mickey. All he owns is a gym. He's a retired fighter, and he finds a kid.
Oh.
But it's not the kind of kid that will go on and do the exploits of Rocky. It's an emotional bonding that he bestows all his love and everything. Everything he wanted in life, he gives to this kid, and he's betrayed. And so it's much more of a film like Rocky 1.
You're writing it?
Yes, I'm
going to direct it?
Not this time. You know, I thought it'd be unique to go back to the original John Avildsen.
John Avildsen back?
Yeah, let's go back home. Let's, home team. Because I'll tell you, Larry, it's impossible. It's like...
I like him.
Yeah, it's like writing the recipe, cooking the food, eating it yourself, and washing the dishes. You know, it's a little lonely. So
Are you a better actor when you're being directed by someone else?
No doubt about it. There's no doubt about it.
Our guest is Sylvester Stallone. Lockup opens Friday nationwide. This is Larry King Live. We'll be right back.
Recently, Road and Track magazine concluded a search for the world's 5 best cars. After exhaustive testing and analysis, they chose 4 exotic sports cars. And even more significantly, only 1 sedan. The Mercedes-Benz 300E.
I've got got you under my rim. Vanish foaming clings deep in the heart of me. It cleans and freshens every part of me. New Vanish foaming under my rim.
Gets under the rim to make cleaning easy. And for an easy way to help keep it clean between brushings, try Vanish Drop-Ins. Just pop one in your tank to help keep your bowl clean and fresh for weeks. New Vanish Foamin' and Vanish Drop-Ins. They clean in perfect harmony.
A few words on business and change.
The journals are daily, and that gives you a real competitive advantage. It's very tough out there, but it's also very exciting. We want to be the best ally that you've got.
Today's Wall Street Journal. Faster, tougher, smarter. Call 800-334-6600 for this special journal offer. 12 weeks, just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. Call 800-334-6600 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fred Hickman. Join Nick Charles and me all next week when we take CNN Sports Tonight on the road to Chicago before a live audience with some of the city's best-known sports personalities. Look out, Arsenio.
America's favorite team, live from Chicago, beginning Monday.
Our guest is Sly Stallone. Sylvester Stallone stars in Lockup. It opens this Friday, and it's his production from White Eagle.
Right.
Celebritydom. We were talking about that during the break.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get used to it, the fact that everybody knows you? I mean, that having a touch of it can be bothersome. Everybody knows you.
Well, you know, it's funny. I brought that up last night because we had a special screening of the film in a 1,200-seat theater. And, you know, I go from the set to my house every day, and I forget about whether, you know, how well known you are. I don't dote on it. Then when you see the congregation at the theater and the accolades or the noise or the attention, it rekindles you. My God, no wonder this is, I mean, it's a shocking experience that you're that well known. You don't know them, but they know you. So I realize there's no place I can go. You know,
Aren't there things you'd like? Are there things you'd like to do? Everyday things you can't do.
I do them pretty much. I really do. I mean, there are
Whereas
some.
if you want to do something, you do it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I really do. I mean, it causes some kind of havoc and problems. But the one thing, I entered into this business as a writer, and I've lost my ability to be anonymous. I cannot go out. I can't observe. I can't eavesdrop. Everyone eavesdrops on you. So the writing I do now is second and third generation. You know, yes, it's not
it's a great observation. Mel Brooks said that a writer must be able to see without being seen.
Yeah, no more.
So you can't observe.
No, absolutely not. So I'll just listen to conversations, and I'll grab a lot from television and documentaries, real people.
How do you take living with stars and Inquirers and Page Sixes and all of that which, as they say, goes with the territory?
Well, it gets crowded in bed with us all. Yeah, you know.
You'll be in a test tube in Harlem.
We share the bathroom, you know. It gets difficult. It really, really gets difficult because on some papers you'll somehow attract or develop a true animosity with one of the writers. They, for some reason, don't like you. So there'll be consistent bombardment and character assassination. And that bothers me a great deal because it's difficult enough for any actor to maintain dignity and maintain any kind of security, because this is the most insecure business. Rejection here is not rejection of an isolated, inanimate product. It is you. If a critic or somebody says, you know, we hate this movie, they're not saying the movie. It's on you. And you take that home. You can't say, oh, it's my tie, it's my suit, it's my shoes.
If you don't like the show, you don't like me.
Me.
Yeah.
So I think that any additional bombardment and character assassination only goes to destroy the person that the paper really relies upon to sell them. In other words, you're killing the personality that you use to sell papers with. You know, you can be kind of critical at times, but not murderously so. Not to the point where you destroy someone's psyche.
You're not the type who can emotionally dismiss it, who can say, the hell with it.
No, not really.
You're too...
I do after a while, but the impact initially can get real hard. I think that it borders on dignity. If you have any pride and you have a basically competitive nature, it's very hard for someone to turn the other cheek. I mean, you keep turning. after a while, you have no teeth left.
Yeah.
You have to...
How about absurdities? How about when you read bald-faced lies?
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking about.
Oh, God, there's one where I say he practices football with his puppy. You know, I mean, where? These kind of things. Bald face. And, the thing is, you can go against them.
Carol Burnett did.
Yeah, but look at it. Was it worth it? For 2.5 years, she starts out with millions of dollars settlement, and then it gets down to about 92 cents. And all that time, and in the end, it didn't really change a thing.
How about having all the money you'll ever need? What does that do to a Hell's Kitchen kid?
It buys personal freedom. And that's the way I look at money. Money can buy you the right to isolate yourself and try to live your life on your terms. Other than that, I think to use it as a battering ram to leverage your way into different stratas of life, to use it as a sociological weapon to become a nouveau riche, parasitical, brutal, money-mongering kind of guy, I think that's bad. I never found money to be a hobby at all. To me, money is a necessity for just buying personal freedom.
And it's an outgrowth of what you do. It's not why you do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't even... I should pay more attention to it.
But, I mean, you're doing what you want to do. So if they gave you 10 times as much to do something else...
If they gave me nothing, and not that I'm suggesting this, if they gave you nothing, it's a job that I would enjoy doing because it's a psychic, spiritual, and physical creative release. It's necessary. I can't imagine not being able to have a theater, an arena to expound. I mean, really, to wax poetic. You would die. What would you do?
Yeah.
You'd walk down the street. That's why I think a lot of these people that are a little half out of their mind, they're just talking. They don't have an arena to let out those emotions, so they just go. And I think it festers in the mind. So I suggest anyone, people say, what kind of job should I do? How do you choose a profession? Choose the profession that you would do for free if you had to. And that's the one you'll be most happy at.
That's right. So if you like hanging around animals, working a zoo...
That's right. Being a blacksmith, I mean...
yeah. Shoe horses.
Making kites, shoeing horses.
If you like doing carpentry, be the best damn carpenter you could be.
And that's it. And I say, arrive 10% earlier, leave 10% later, work 10% harder, and you'll be a success.
You are a workaholic, right?
You're very right.
And the classic sense of that term, you don't take more than...
Workaholic unanimous.
Yeah. How much... welcome to the club. How much most time you take off?
Oh, God, just
a week?
Sleep.
Week off?
About 8 hours a day. Seriously. By the time I go to, let's say a 3-week vacation, the first 2 weeks I spent unwinding, and the last week I spend guilty while I'm not working. So it's a real vicious circle, you know. I've got to get it together.
We have a few moments left with Sly Stallone. We could do all night. We'll be right back. All night.
Subaru would like to apologize to the residents of Casa Grande, Arizona, where we drove the all-new Subaru Legacy at speeds averaging 138 miles per hour, 24 hours a day, for over 60,000 miles. That's about 2.5 times around the world. Until we set a new world speed endurance record. If you're listening, Casa Grande, thank you.
Remember when getting a new carpet meant worrying about stains and wear and tear? Then DuPont created certified Stainmaster carpet to help keep its new looks without your going to great lengths. DuPont Stainmaster. For stains and wear, it's not Stainmaster carpet. If it doesn't say DuPont.
The Microtech 2 electronic flea collar is effective, high-tech flea control for your pet and your home. Chemical-free and veterinarian tested, Microtech 2 repels fleas with microsound. The tough, water-resistant Microtech 2, along with strong nylon collar, lasts years and runs on just one replaceable battery. Microtech 2, high-tech flea control for your pet. Available now at a store near you.
Our guest, Sylvester Stallone, Lockup, opens Friday. We were talking in your... By the way, you think these people live palatially. You live in a van here, right? Yeah. And you don't put the air
Happy Humphrey and his traveling carnival of horrors. Yes.
You're pessimistic about this environment, this
Very
world,
much.
right? You're not too
Very
hot
much.
on where we're going with this.
Oh, Larry, you got to be realistic. You know, we are truly destroying the planet. I mean, we talk about the ignorance of the dinosaurs. How could they all die? Let's face it, they made it 170 million years. We've been here barely 4, and it's over. I mean, I don't think now there's a way, unless you literally put the brakes on today, to stop the destruction of the environment. I mean, it's all going
today,
fast.
maybe yesterday.
Yeah.
So you don't have much hope for great-great-grandchildren?
No, I mean, I don't see it. I know that people, unless they're wearing helmets and spacesuits, I don't know how we're going to survive this toxic
And this city
poison.
is a very good example of it.
This city is, you know, people talk about L.A. L.A. is a wonderful town, but it's just been so mined out, and what people don't, forget the smog. I'll bet you in 5 years there's no water. People forget there's not going to be any water.
Colorado's not endless?
No, nothing's endless. It all does end. And we're just building up, and everyone keeps flocking to L.A. Let's come to the city of dreams. Well, pretty soon, you know, the only thing you're going to have is just bottled water they can import from another state.
The criticism, how do you react to that, who have said, here's a man who thinks about the environment and cares about things and fellow people and makes Rambos?
You know, when you talk about Rambo...
Another hero.
Yes, another hero. See, Rambo is an avenging angel. It's an ideology of people...
Getting even.
Getting even, self-sacrifice. He never takes pay. He doesn't live in America. He doesn't work for America. He does it as a favor. He does it as a self-sacrifice. He's a man with a death wish.
You like him?
I wouldn't like to go to his bar mitzvah, but I you know, especially he would do it with a Bowie knife.
No, but about the violence, the aspect, you know, when
war is violent, and they say, then I shouldn't do Rambos, because Rambo deals in a world of violence.
Yeah, but how about those who say, don't do Rambo? You think about peace, don't do Rambo.
Well, those people really, they're coming, you know, they're naive. The majority of those people that say, don't do Rambo, are naive, because they think that the elimination of Rambo, like, is going to eliminate world aggression. We are an aggressive creature. We always have been warring. The day, everything was fine on Earth when there was one man. The day 2 came up, we had problems.
Yeah.
And from then on, we've been fighting, okay? When we get down to 1 again, everything's going to be peaceful.
Is he a hoot to play?
No, he's a problem.
Oh.
No, he's... It's tough. I mean, it's lethal. You know what it's like to hold your stomach in for 6 months. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, but I imagine it's a kick. I was talking about a kid with toys. This is a kid with the ultimate toys.
You know, Rambo is an incredibly difficult character to play, not, of course, verbally. That's non-existent. It's a physical show that you have to keep the action moving with body movement. So you must always be tense and alert. You can never let down. So at the end of the day, you know, you lay in bed like this with your rifle in your hands. Like, you can't move. You're just so tense, so wound up, so aggravated that it takes months to come down. I mean, I came back to Hollywood with a real attitude. Like, unless you've been to the jungle, don't talk to me. You hear? Go swing from a tree for an hour, then you've got something to tell me about.
Where did you shoot that?
We shot that in Israel. We shot it in the jungles of Mexico. We shot it in Thailand. Yeah.
Do you get lost in it when you're out there?
I mean,
little back.
We're talking Rod Sterling's Twilight Zone revisited. I said, gone. There are moments in Rambo when I watch it that, my God, is that the eyes? They spin in their head, whatever. Because it is, you know what it is? It's that other side. It's that id. It's the violent side that all men possess. And I don't care what they say. Everyone's got an attitude. Be cut off at a light a couple times, and you're going to find out whether you're really a serious pacifist. You know, right? Yes.
We have about a minute left, and we'll share that with you and Sly right after this.
Okay.
Coming up on the evening news, defiantly going to a hospital for treatment in South Africa.
We will have the story of those who dared to go to a place that usually looks at the color of the patient's skin first.
Also, Voyager 2 continuing to thrill us as it gets further away from us and closer to Neptune.
We'll have a live report on Voyager 2's progress.
Those stories and the rest of the day's news all coming up at the top of the hour on CNN's Evening News.
Fleas. Their eggs are immune to most household pesticides, and 2 can become over 1,200 in just 42 days in your home. Fact. There's only one way to handle a problem like that. Orkin. With over 85 years of proven experience, and the only nationwide money-back guarantee in the pest control business. That's why more people in more places call Orkin more than anybody else in the world. Call Orkin today for any pest problem you have. We could be all the protection you'll ever need.
Does she really? But the color is so natural looking.
That's why I use Miss Clairol.
When hairdressers want to make women beautiful, they reach for the colors of Miss Clairol more often than any other.
Could you make me a blonde like that?
Superb color, time after time. Maybe that's why so many hairdressers trust the colors of Miss Clairol.
Mommy, it's beautiful.
So, for beautiful hair, gorgeous color, shouldn't you trust Miss Clairol?
Lockup opens Friday, and Don Rickles is our guest on Friday. We're going to ask Don about you. Is that okay? Get his thoughts on you. You're doing Tango in Cash now.
Yes.
This winds up when?
Oh, in about 4 weeks.
Then Rocky?
Rocky 5, and then
Rambo what?
To say it. Rambo 4.
Rambo 4. We got a title on that.
Yeah.
Give it to me. The first, give it to me. The next Rambo title.
Yes. Rambo, actually, you know what, I saw a cartoon that said Rambo will fight Rocky, and you wonder who wins, and you see a picture of Rocky in the ring, and you see Rambo standing with a machine gun. Guess who wins? Okay? This one will be, I think we're going to set this in Middle America. Coming back,
Rambo in Middle America?
Yeah, coming back home.
Shooting up Iowa?
Yeah, it takes on scarecrows or something. He's Middle America, I swear.
And Rocky will be shot where?
Rocky will be shot in Philadelphia and in Los Angeles. And then after that, I think it's time for another White Eagle film. That'll be, I'd like to do something different, just something maybe based on a novel. Maybe a little bit more of a stretch in the comedic area.
Comedy, yeah.
Comedy.
30 seconds left.
Yes.
You still looking for the right she, whoever she is?
The she creature?
The she.
The creature from the She Lagoon.
The significant other.
Yeah, I am. The number to call in L.A. is 995-555. We get back. No one is rejected here in the Sly Stallone love line.
You've been an ace, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Best of luck with the movie.
Appreciate it.
Hope you enjoyed this hour with Sylvester Stallone. Tomorrow night we'll be back at the Los Angeles studios of CNN, and we'll reinvestigate the incredible circumstances around the death of Marilyn Monroe. And Friday night, Don Rickles. Thanks for joining us from the Burbank studios. Good night.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
It looks like Hollywood. It smells like Hollywood. I wonder if it tastes like Hollywood. Is this it?
Yeah. One great interview. Good.